to Hanjo. Yeah. Yeah, on. That's an obscure quote that maybe one subscriber will get. Anyhow, yeah, what's up, guys? Matt the Greeter here. Whoa, man, we got people in day glow walking around. What is happening? That's a sure sign to get off the throttle a little bit. Nice. They're building a wall or they're taking one down. Oh, something died, huh? Yuck. You ever listen to Carcass? Till Descanting the Insalubrious? Some of you think their music stinks, but so did that Carcass that I just drove by. Oh, yeah, this is not how I want this. I gotta restart. I'm gonna talk about coffee in a second, and I can't talk about coffee after all that nonsense. Who's gonna listen to that? Yeah, Carcass. Hey, listen, just real quick. This will be a short one, right? Is she raking the swamp? Hey, someone's got to rake a culvert, I guess. God bless her. Yeah, so let's talk about heavy bands. The heavy bands that I listened to when I was a youngin'. Yeah, the first heavy band I heard that really got to me. I'm not talking like Metallica and Megadeth and any of that stuff that was on the radio, Black Sabbath. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about post-radio music. When I was selecting music on my own that was not being played on the radio. And how did a bug get in this helmet? And he's probably in my beard from yesterday. No, I took a shower. He's not from yesterday. Don't get nervous. Ugh. Cybertruck. I'll just discuss in the comment section your thoughts on that. We already talked about that a few days ago. Yes, heavy bands. Bolt Thrower from England. Yes, Joe Bench, female bass player. Yeah, Carl Willits was the best vocalist, in my honest opinion, in Bolt Thrower. Carl Willits did not sound like a Muppet. He just had a great death metal voice, doom metal, grind. You know, there's a couple different monikers for their style of music, but it was heavy, it was riff oriented, and gosh darn it, I loved it. But not every album. I especially loved Mercenary and Fourth Crusade, although they had songs, you know, on other albums that were really good too. But that's Bolt Thrower. Also really love Sepultura, especially their early stuff. What's up, buddy? Especially their early stuff. Well, Chaos AD is not their earliest stuff, but Chaos AD, Arise, love Arise. Yeah, their early, was it Beneath the Remains? Yeah, great stuff there. So Sepultura, they're from Brazil, so you got some great percussion happening. Yeah, like I said, Carcass, Descanting the Insalubrious, Heartwork, those were two really good Carcass albums. Honestly, did not enjoy black metal in almost any way. Because I just can't get over the satanic lyrics and all that stuff. Satan is a loser from the beginning. I'm not gonna, you know, kind of sing about that stuff. That could just lie where it is. You know what I'm saying? So what's I gotta say goodbye to that guy? See ya. I thought he was gonna stop and say hi, but no, I guess when you're on a sport bike, you can go yo. Oh, I don't want that song in my head. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, never got into the black metal, although, you know, very much respect a lot of those musicians, superior musicians, but dude, I can't get over the subject matter. Yeah, like you know, the Rolling Stones song Sympathy for the Devil. Sympathy for the Devil. You've got to be on something. Not a chance. No sympathy. If you believe in the devil and you got sympathy for the devil, man, you ain't reading the you ain't reading the Bible right. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking at the world around us the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like you got some splaining to do. So anyhow, yeah, I couldn't get into the black metal, but yeah, Bull Thrower for sure. Carcass, a couple albums, Sepultura, early Sepultura, so good. And man, and I'm spacing on everything else. You know, I liked a lot of gloomy stuff back then too. You know, heavy, gloomy. You know, and it was good stuff. I mean, there's Napalm Death, who pretty much sort of started it all, but I never got into them. I didn't really, I kind of came to all that stuff after I had already been heavy into Bolt Thrower and Sepultura and stuff. So, yeah, and then else I will say, oh, how can I space on this now? I'm looking at the album cover of the band that I really wish I could mention right now, because this album is so stinking cool and I can't remember that I'm having a Fear Factory's Obsolete album. I know it's not death metal, you know, necessarily, but it's got some, like, it reminds me a little bit of well, anyway, it doesn't matter. But my favorite Fear Factory album is Obsolete. It's a concept album. It's killer album, so good. And it tells a story, and I love an album that tells a story. You know what I mean? You just sit down, listen to it from beginning to end, and then sit there in just awe, you know, of what you just went through. But don't get the extended version, because as you're sitting there in awe, all of a sudden their cover of Gary Newman's Cars comes on. It kind of breaks the spell. It's a good cover, but you're sitting and just soaking and reveling in this story that you just been through, and then you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, oh man, I forgot I was in the real world, you know, somewhere else for a little while. Yeah, so those are my recommendations for heavy stuff, and I'm sure I'm leaving half of my catalog off the list, but those were the early ones that really grabbed my attention. And I just yeah, you got Carcass, by the way, lead singing or lead screaming or growling bass player. So always I identify with lead singing bass players, having been one in the past. So guys, I care about you. Thanks for riding along. Appreciate it. Please check out some of those bands. Again, listen, I'm born in 1970s, right? So this stuff is, if you're a young buckaroo, you know, you're gonna listen to some of this and be like, really? But this is where a lot of music that the newer generations, you know, that's what these guys were listening to. You know what I'm saying? And it helped them become who they are today. And that's it, guys. Matt the Greeter, care about you. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.